Good morning, Realty One Group advocates. How are you today? I wanted to do a quick video on how you would turn in your new buyer side sales in Skyslope. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. So I'm starting off here at one dot zone. You can either click into Skyslope here in one dot zone, or if you happen to be in the one login screen, you should have a Skyslope button there as well. So once you reach Skyslope, whenever you see the gold print here, this is the section where you're going to be able to input your sales and see what deals you have pending. I have a office view here, so I can see what's going on in the office as well. For today's purpose, I'm going to be entering a sale for John, as if he just sold this house and who's putting this deal in. So I'm going to go to Manage Transactions and then Create Transaction. If you're using Skyslope Forms to do your documents, you can always find your documents here and pull them into the transaction. So if you are using Skyslope Forms, it's going to make your life a little bit easier when you're turning in your sales here. But for today's class, I'm just going to search for the address. It's 1382 Juniper. And we're going to go ahead and start filling out this transaction. I'm going to look for John. The MLS number, I do have that up here as well. I'll copy and paste that in. So we have the price in here, the source. Most of the time is going to probably be sphere of influence, but you can choose whatever you got the source from. If it's an office lead, no. Then we need the acceptance date of the contract. And I do have the agreement of sale next to me here, so I'll look at that. So this went under March 9th. Checklist type. This is important. What we're going to be doing most of the time is going to be a residential 1 to 4 unit. And this is going to be a purchase. They do ask for year built for whatever reason, 1995. And then we need the closing date. Is April 14th. Okay, so once you've completed all the ones that have a red star, you can click next. And then what we're going to do is enter in our contacts. So we're going to start off here with seller, landlord. And again, I have that agreement of sale here. And this is an estate. So whenever you have an estate, company or other entity where it's not a first name, last name, you can click this box here and then put it in the company name. Okay. And because we're not representing the seller in this transaction, we shouldn't need to put more information in. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And we can see as we're filling out this information, we have a green check mark next to the seller. So let's go down to purchaser. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And for the sake of time and confidentiality, I'm just going to put the office number in here. and go ahead and hit save. So if you have more than one buyer or seller, once you've put in one person, you'll see a new purchaser button down here. So we're going to add the second buyer in here. And you can go back in here and change this stuff at any time. So we can go and change the phone number at a later time. So we have our two buyers in here, and we can see we have a green checkbox here. So let's go down to title. And this is going through one abstract. And I'm just going to look up Wendy's email real quick. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So we have a checkbox here. So then we're going to go to agent that is representing the other side. And that is Brian Kelly of Kelly Real Estate. Do I have his email? B. Kelly. Okay. I hit save. The lender. So Mike is doing this loan. Okay. So once you have the seller, the purchaser, the title company, the other agent, and the lender in, you can go ahead and hit submit. And you get to the section where it says commission. So we don't know what the listing side commission is. I will look on Bright, and that is 2.5%. So we can just put 2.5 in here, and that will automatically fill the office gross commission, 400,000 times 2.5%. We're not going to be holding a deposit. We are the buyer. And we're going to go ahead and hit submit from here. You do not need to hit submit and open escrow in any situation. You're just going to always, even if it's a listing, click submit. Okay. So now we have 1382 Juniper in here. The transaction details is here. The contacts are here. The commission we just put in. So now we go to the checklist. And this is where you're going to be inputting your documents. So for, let's say, consumer notice, and I had saved these documents of John's. So I'm adding the consumer notice, the buyer's agency, and you can either drag them like I'm doing right now, or you can hit upload document, go to your documents on your computer, and here's the agreement of sale, and upload it that way, or you can drag. Now it's going to say pending because once you put the documents in, I'm going to receive a notification as the broker that you've inputted this transaction and that these documents need to be approved. So on my screen, I have an accept button. So what I can do is I can look at your documents that you put in. So look at the consumer notice, see that everything was filled out correctly. And on my end, I will hit accept and then it'll show up as completed. So don't worry if it says pending, that just means that I need to go in and accept the documents that you put in. So right now I do not have anything listed here as mandatory, but what you want to be completing on a buyer side transaction, I want to see the consumer notice, your buyer's agency agreement, your agreement of sale, obviously. Very important that we get the affiliated business disclosure for every one of our buyers. So you're going to want to attach that as well. Deposit money notice and seller's disclosure will come in here. So I do have that. So we're going to go ahead and attach the seller's disclosure right here. If you have any change of terms, you can add that as well. And then once we finally go to closing, we would be attaching the ALTA or the CD. And that's where you input your documents. When you click on the Documents tab here, then you can then see everything that has been loaded, and then you can always click on any of these things to view them. So we have everything loaded in here. And outside of just, for the sake of time, I didn't go through and I didn't upload a couple of the other documents. Just make sure that you upload the documents that you have. And then after you've done that, this is complete. You can always click on the logo up here, and this is going to take you back to this main screen. When we first started this little class, we had 4 pending. Now we have 5. If I click on this, we can see that Juniper is in here. And both John, since this is his sale, can go in here and look at the documents and go through all the pages that I was just here. And I can also see the same thing. So that's what you need to do in order to complete and upload a buyer side transaction. I'm going to have some other classes on how you update your listing in here. But for the sake of having short classes that you can go to, this is going to conclude. So that is how you input a new buyer side transaction. And if anybody has any questions, please let me know. Thank you and have a great day.